Hello everyone. Today we're going to focus on reported speech. I would like to give information about reported speech statements. We use reported speech to report the words spoken by another person. When the reporting verb say, tell is in the past, the tense of the verb in reported speech usually changes, going one tense back. If the reporting verb, the main verb of the sentence, for example, said, is simple past, the verb in the noun clause will usually also be in a past form. I would like to give information about reported speech statements form. We use a reporting verb like say or tell. If this verb is in the present tense, it's easy. We just put she says and then the sentence. For example, direct speech, I like ice cream. Reported speech, she says she likes ice cream. She says that she likes ice cream. But if the reporting verb is in the past tense, then usually we change the tenses in the reported speech. For example, direct speech, I like ice cream. Reported speech, she said she liked ice cream. She said that she liked ice cream. I would like to give information about both direct speech and reported speech tenses. As you can see here, the tense in reported speech is one tense back in time from the tense in direct speech. I cook at home. She said she cooked at home. Present simple changes to past simple when we use reported speech. I am cooking. She said she was cooking. Present continuous changes to past continuous when we use reported speech. I have cooked. She said she had cooked. Present perfect changes to past perfect when we use reported speech. I cooked. She said she had cooked. Past simple changes to past perfect when we use reported speech. I had cooked. She said she had cooked. We don't have to change. It is same. I will cook. She said she would cook. Will changes to would when we use reported speech. I can cook. She said she could cook. Can change to could when we use reported speech. I may cook. She said she might cook. May change to might when we use reported speech. I must cook. I have to cook. She said she had to cook. Must or have to change to had to when we use reported speech. Could, would, should, and might do not change from direct to reported speech. In reported speech, pronouns and possessive adjectives also change. I saw your mother, Lucy said. She had seen my mother. Here are some other words which change from direct to reported speech. In direct speech, we can say this or these. In reported speech, we can say that or those. In direct speech, we can say here. In reported speech, we can say dash. In direct speech, we use today. In reported speech, we use that day. In direct speech, we use yesterday. In reported speech, we use the day before. In direct speech, we use tomorrow. In reported speech, we use the next or following day. In direct speech, we use last night. In reported speech, we use the night before. In direct speech, we use next week. next month, next year. In reported speech, we use the following week, the following month, the following year. In direct speech, we use last week, last month, last year. In reported speech, we use the previous week, the previous month, the previous year. In direct speech, we use a week, a month, a year ago. In reported speech, we use a week, a month, a year before. So in direct speech, we use this, these, here, today, yesterday, tomorrow, last night, next week, next month, next year, last week, last month, last year, a week, a month, a year ago. But in reported speech, we can say that, those, there, that day, the day before, the next or following day, last night, the night before, next week, next month, next year, the following week, the following month, the following year. Last week, last month, last year, the previous week, the previous month, the previous year. As I said before, in direct speech we can say a week, a month, a year ago. In reported speech we can say a week or a month or a year before. So here are some other words which change from direct to reported speech. With tell, you must use a personal object to say who you are saying something to. She told John she had been there. We cannot say she told that she had been there. With say, you do not need to use a personal object to say who you are saying something to. She said she had been there. She said John, she had been there. So we cannot say she said John, she had been there. The correct form is she had been there. I would like to give information about reported speech statements use. We use reported speech to report the words spoken by another person. I want a sandwich, said Lucy. Lucy said that she wanted a sandwich. I think I will go to the library to study, said Kelsey. Kelsey said she thought she would go to the library to study. I would like to give information about reported speech questions. I need to give information about reported speech questions on this page. The similar changes happen with tenses, pronouns, and other words as with reported statements. We do not use the auxiliary verb do in reported questions. Do you read magazines? He asked me if I read magazines. There is no inversion of subject and verb in reported questions. Where is Lucy? She asked me where Lucy was. The direct question is the present simple of be. We make the question form of the present simple of be by inverting or changing the position of the subject and verb. We need to change them back before putting the verb into the past simple. Let's analyze several examples. Direct question, where is the post office, please? Reported question, she asked me where the post office was. Direct question, what are you doing? Reported question, she asked me what I was doing. Direct question, who was that clever man? Reported question, she asked me who that clever man had been. When there is no question word, who, what, how, why, etc., we use if or whether. Are you ill? She asked me if I was ill. Reported questions are not real questions, so they don't need question marks. Is what I have heard true? I wondered if what I had heard was true. I wondered whether what I had heard was true. But what if you need to report a yes no question? We don't have any question words to help us. Instead, we use if or whether. We have already talked about it on this page. I would like to give several examples on this page. Let's have a look at the first one. Do you like chocolate? She asked me if I like chocolate. She asked me whether I like chocolate. Have you ever been to Mexico? She asked me if I had ever been to Mexico. She asked me whether I had ever been to Mexico. Are you living here? She asked me if I was living here. She asked me whether I was living here. I would like to show you several reported speech questions examples on this page. Direct questions, she said, are you coming with us? Reported question, she asked me if I was coming with them. She asked me whether I was coming with them. Direct question, my mother said, why are you leaving so early today? Reported question, my mother asked me why I was leaving so early that day. Direct question, she said, how old is your cousin? Reported question, she asked me how old my cousin was. On this page, you're going to encounter with several examples about reported speech. George, I don't like horror films. George said he didn't like horror films. George said that he didn't like horror films. George, do you like horror films? George asked me if I liked horror films. George asked me whether I liked horror films. Megan, I will help you tomorrow. Megan told me she would help me the following day. Megan told me that she would help me the following day. Megan told her sisters that she would help them the following day. Megan told her sisters she would help them the following day. Megan told her brother that she would help him the following day. Megan told her brother she would help him the following day. I must get up very early on weekdays. I have to get up very early on weekdays. She said that she had to get up very early on weekdays. Here is an exercise. You will complete the sentences with a question word or if or whether. As you can see here, there are totally 7 sentences. You just need to complete the sentences with a question word or if or whether. Megan asked Greta, she wanted to eat pizza. David wanted to know I had come by train or by bus. They asked the journalist her favorite singer was. She said Michael Jackson. Emily asked me I wanted a glass of water and I said yes. They asked me I had sisters and I said no. Lucy's dad asked her she had had a good time. My friend asked me I hadn't been at home the day before. You will complete the sentences with a question word or if or whether. Megan asked Greta what she wanted to eat. David wanted to know if I had come by train or by bus. David wanted to know whether I had come by train or by bus. They asked the journalist who her favorite singer was. She said Michael Jackson. Emily asked me if I wanted a glass of water and I said yes. Emily asked me whether I wanted a glass of water and I said yes. They asked me if I had sisters and I said no. They asked me whether I had sisters and I said no. Lucy's dad asked her if she had had a good time. Lucy's dad asked her whether she had had a good time. My friend asked me why I hadn't been at home the day before. So we have completed the sentences with a question word or if or whether. Here is another exercise that you're going to write the sentences in reported speech. As you can see here, there are a total of 4 sentences. You will write them in reported speech. Can we say that for the first one? I'm going to the cinema next week, my brother said. My brother said that he was going to the cinema the following week. Second one, I have always wanted to write articles, said Jack. Jack said that he had always wanted to write articles. The concert will start at 7 p.m. tomorrow, they said. They said that the concert would start at 7 p.m. the following day. I wrote the novel yesterday, said the author. The author said that he had written the novel the previous day. You are going to write these questions in reported speech. As you can see here, there are totally 5 questions. You will write them in reported speech. Are you from Italy? She asked me. Why were you shouting? I asked Lucy. Have you ever watched this film? The teacher asked me. Did the lawyer see Tom yesterday? David asked her that. What time are you going to arrive? Megan asked Paul. Just think about them and write these questions in reported speech. Are you from Italy? She asked me. She asked me if I was from Italy. Why were you shouting? I asked Lucy. I asked Lucy why she had been shouting. Have you ever watched this film? The teacher asked me. The teacher asked me if I had ever watched that film. Did the lawyer see Tom yesterday? David asked her that. David asked her that if the lawyer had seen Tom the previous day. What time are you going to arrive? Megan asked Paul. Megan asked Paul what time he was going to arrive. So we have written these questions in reported speech. On this page, you will look at these questions and statements, which are direct questions and which are reported questions. You're going to write direct questions or reported questions next to each sentence. How often do you go to the restaurant? What are you listening at that moment? She asked him whether he preferred drinking tea or coffee. Do you prefer playing tennis or golf? She wanted to learn if he had watched adventure movie. He asked her what she was eating at that moment. He asked her how often he went to the zoo. You will look at the questions and statements, which are direct questions and which are reported questions. How often do you go to the restaurant? Direct question. What are you listening at that moment? Direct question. She asked him whether he preferred drinking tea or coffee. Reported question. Do you prefer playing tennis or golf? Direct question. She wanted to learn if he had watched adventure movie. Reported question. He asked her what she was eating at that moment. Reported question. He asked her how often he went to the zoo. Reported question. You will complete the sentences with the correct words. I love that book, said Jennifer. Jennifer said, that book. My friend needs money, said Tom. Tom said that. My friend, money. We're going by car, said Jack. Jack said, going by car. It's scary, said Emily and William. Emily and William said, it's scary. So you will complete the sentences with the correct words. I love that book, said Jennifer. Jennifer said she loved that book. My mom needs money, said Tom. Tom said that his mom needed money. We're going by car, said Jack. Jack said they were going by car. It's scary, said Emily and William. Emily and William said it was scary. So we have completed the sentences with the correct words. Okay, now we're going to rewrite the sentences in reported speech. My friend has got a new car, said George. We graduated from high school last Friday, said Emily and Megan. I'm going to start playing chess next month, said Sam. I think this is the answer, said David. We don't need food, said the students. You will rewrite the sentences in the reported speech. My friend has got a new car, said George. George said his friend had got a new car. We graduated from high school last Friday, said Emily and Megan. Emily and Megan said that they had graduated from the high school the previous Friday. I'm going to start playing chess next month, said Sam. Sam said that he was going to start playing chess the following month. I think this is the answer, said David. David said that he thought that was the answer. We don't need food, said the students. The students said that they didn't need food. On this page, you will rewrite the underlined words in reported speech. It's my party, said Lucy. I was in New York last week, said Sam. Today is going to be a bad day, said David. I have been to Paris twice, said William. I wanted to go for a walk last weekend, said Lucy. The ceremony is tomorrow, said the manager. You will rewrite the underlined words in reported speech. It's my party, said Lucy. Her. I was in New York last week, said Sam. The previous week. Today is going to be a bad day, said David that day. I have been to Paris twice, said William. He had. I wanted to go for a walk last weekend, said Lucy. She. The ceremony is tomorrow, said the manager, the following day. You will circle the correct option. As you can see here, there are totally 6 sentences. You just need to circle the correct option. Lucy asked the girl what surname was. The director asked her workers. They wanted to see the play. You just need to choose the correct option, by the way. Emily asked Jason where going. The nurse asked him if he a serious operation. Just think about the correct option. Tom asked Megan if an apple pie. Think about it. William asked who the book. Okay, you will circle the correct option. For the first one, Lucy asked the girl what her surname was. Just think about it. The director asked her workers that whether how they wanted to see the play. Emily asked Jason where he was going. The nurse asked him if he had ever had a serious operation. Tom asked Megan if she liked, if does like, or if did like an apple. William asked who did write, who had written the book. Okay, you will circle the correct option for this exercise. Lucy asked the girl what her surname was. The director asked her workers whether they wanted to see the play. Emily asked Jason where he was going. The nurse asked him if he had ever had a serious operation. Tom asked Megan if she liked an apple pie. William asked who had written the book.